The Power Broker is watching. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier Episode 3 puts Sam and Bucky closer to Zemo than they probably ever wanted, which leads to another major character reveal.
I was wondering when you were going to show up.
Directed by Kerry Scoglin, Episode 3 finds the boys hot on the trail of the Flag Smashers and the Power Broker. Now, who is he? Plus, major connections to Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Civil War, and Black Panther, and of course, all of the Easter eggs we could find while goofing around in Lowtown. But before we do all of that, let me warn y'all, we're about to spoil every single thing that took place in this episode, so if you haven't seen it just yet, or you don't want to know, now's the time for a quick timeout while you properly express your appreciation for the MCU's new Captain America.
Do you know who I am? He blew up the UN. He killed King T'Chaka and framed you for it. Did you forget that? You think the Wakandans forgot about it? It's a rhetorical question. They didn't.
Now that we're past the spoiler warning, let's get right into the big reveal from the end of the episode.
I was wondering when you were going to show up.
That is A.O., second in command of the Dora Milaje, the deadly King's Guard, duty-bound to protect the Black Panther, the King of Wakanda. And since Zemo was directly responsible for the murder of T'Challa's father, King T'Chaka, when he blew up the UN, the Dora Milaje would very much like 5 minutes alone in a room with this dude now that he's out of prison. Now, we'll break this major appearance down in a second, but first let's recap this a bit because how is Zemo out of prison, you might ask? Bucky helped break him out, and then Zemo pretty much immediately blows some stuff up, and that's why A.O. sought him out. It's simple, right? Sam and Bucky go to see Zemo for leads on the Flag Smashers and the recreated Super Soldier Serum they not only stole from the Power Broker, but also clearly have coursing through their veins. Zemo tells Bucky that he knows exactly where to start, so smash cut to Zemo breaking out of prison thanks to a prison riot that Bucky helped get going.
If I may.
No!
Zemo's been stuck in prison since Civil War. Now, he was locked up during the snap, the blip, and the 5 years in between, and what's he been up to this entire time? He's been playing chess and reading Machiavelli. So yeah, our bet is that whatever is going on with the Power Broker, Zemo is deeply already involved with it, if he's not the Power Broker himself.
Do you know him? Only by reputation.
Anyway, Zemo says he wants to help because anyone with a working Super Soldier Serum could use it to create an army of people like the Avengers. He takes Sam and Bucky to Madripoor to sniff out the trail of the Super Soldier Serum. And because Zemo is a baron, well, he's still rich, so he's got a nice private jet to get him there.
Do we want to live in a world full of people like the Red Skull? That is why we're going to Madripoor.
Once they get there, Sam, Bucky, and Zemo go undercover, very poorly I might add, on the hunt for the Power Broker. Bucky goes all Winter Soldier all over the place, and that lands them in front of the Power Broker's Lieutenant Selby. And it's a pretty short encounter.
Kill them.
The important thing here is they got what they came for, the name of the scientist who recreated the Super Soldier Serum. More on him in a minute. Toward the end of the episode, Zemo dons his famous purple mask and starts wasting fools and blowing things up, you know, like Zemo does. Now, looks like all that time in prison didn't hinder his combat skills at all, not even a bit. Meantime, Walker and Hoskins correctly deduced that Sam and Bucky busted Zemo out of prison in the first place, which leads Walker to start cutting his own corners to keep up. Anyway, the episode leaves Sam feeling like he should have destroyed the shield because it's only brought trouble to everyone else without Steve. Now, whether or not it's even possible isn't the point. The point is Bucky disagrees.
World's upside down. We need a new cap, and it ain't gonna be Walker. So before you go and destroy it, I'm gonna take it from him myself.
But before they do any of that, they're headed to Riga to hunt down the Flag Smashers. Now, Zemo says he's excited to meet their leader, Karli Morgenthau, who we'll talk about in just a second. Now, once they get to Riga, Bucky realizes they're being followed, and sure enough, it's A.O. and she'd like some words. The MCU introduced the Dora Milaje and A.O. specifically in Captain America Civil War, and A.O. fought alongside Okoye and T'Challa in Black Panther and against the forces of Thanos in Avengers Infinity War. Now, in the comics, the Dora Milaje first appeared in the pages of Black Panther in 1998. A.O.'s inclusion here is very significant. A lot has happened in the world since Zemo attacked the UN, and while much of the world's attention has been distracted by alien attacks and blipping in and out of existence for 5 years, Wakanda has not forgotten Zemo or what he did to their country and monarch. What this means is that Sam and Bucky's under the radar mission just became a battle of nations. Zemo is a kingslayer and the Dora Milaje serve the throne of Wakanda for life. On top of that, she's got beef with Bucky for breaking him out. Now, I don't see AO letting any of the Zemo nonsense continue.
Move, or you will be moved.
Power broker, really? Every kingdom needs its king.
We're starting to learn more and more about the Power Broker, little by little. In Marvel Comics, the Power Broker is a shrewd and unseen operator who gives superpowers to those willing to pay for them. Now, the MCU's Power Broker seems much the same, and they're starting to lay down breadcrumbs to at least entice viewers to theorize on who he might be. He operates out of Madripoor, and his presence is just kind of felt there. You see graffiti reminding you that he is always watching. More importantly, he employs Wilfred Nagel, the scientist who successfully recreated the Super Soldier Serum, the same serum the Flag Smasher stole in episode 2. Remember last week when Sam succinctly recapped the events of Captain America Civil War? Well, Sharon kinda does the same thing, but puts a little more sauce on it.
I stole Steve's shield, remember? I also took the wings for your ass so that you could save his ass from his ass.
You know how Sam and Bucky were pardoned? Right, well, Sharon wasn't, so she's been on the run this whole time, or, well, at least since she's come back since the blip. Sharon was one of the billions of people snapped out of existence by Thanos in Avengers Infinity War. Now, we know this because Black Widow's computer lists her as among the missing in Avengers Endgame. Seems like she blipped right back to being an enemy of the state.
Unlike you, I didn't have the Avengers to back me up, so I'm off the grid in Madripoor.
Sharon's not in a good way here. Now, she's still on the run and doesn't seem to have seen any rewards for her efforts or sacrifices. And since she's treated like a criminal, she's just leaned into it. She lives in Madripoor's upscale high town and supports herself through selling stolen art pieces and throwing parties and stuff. Lots of stuff. Sharon is clearly jaded. Seems like she's given up any belief in the whole superhero thing.
You know the whole hero thing is a joke, right?
She agrees to help because Sam offers to clear her name in the US if she does. So she leads them to Wilfred Nagel, who admits that he developed the serum after receiving samples of blood from an unnamed test subject. Now, Sam deduces that he's talking about Isaiah Bradley, the Black Captain America the US government imprisoned and endlessly experimented on. But that's not all Nagel will share. He's about to give them lots of information about the serum, how he made it, who the
No!
Oh, okay. Maybe not. While all this is happening, Sharon is outside putting in the work. She takes out a bunch of bounty hunters sent by the Power Broker, and yeah, she survives, but it's hard work. Plus, Zemo just shot her lead in the head. Already, Sharon is getting the bad end of this deal. The hero life has not treated Sharon very well, and she's already turned into a kind of criminal, so how far does that go?
We've got a big problem. Actually, a couple of them. I'll tell you in the car. Let's go.
Catching up with the Flag Smashers, it seems like their leader, Carly Morgenthau, really is a true believer. The work she's doing because she believes in it. And lots of people throughout post-blip Eastern Europe seem to think of her and her Flag Smashers as modern-day Robin Hoods. Carly loses a loved one in this episode, and that same day, she's out raiding a GRC supply depot and torching unarmed hostages with car bombs. Okay, so Carly is the villain here. You know, her logic makes sense, but I think once you start freaking out your own henchmen, that's when you've crossed the line. This show is setting Carly up to be a bit of a sympathetic villain, though. You can feel and understand her anger, especially once we see the death and need in the post-blip world touch her directly. Now, she's furious and she wants revenge in a world she feels has deserted her and her people. Anyway, the vaccines the Flag Smashers stole in episode 2 were actually Super Soldier Serum doses. Nagel confirmed this. Now, also, he created 20 doses of the serum. And since the Flag Smashers now possess the last 20 doses of the serum on the planet, Carly intends to use them as leverage against the Power Broker, who very much want them all dead.
You're not gonna move your seat up, are you?
And it's time for the old Easter egg roundup. Episode 3 had more than the first 2 episodes did. And here's what we got. That line from Sam in the car is obviously a callback to Captain America Civil War when Sam and Bucky were children, apparently.
Can you move your seat up? No.
Madripoor is not a real country. It's also from Marvel Comics, usually in stories involving the X-Men. When they head into Lowtown, Sam is disguised as Conrad Mack, aka the Smiling Tiger, a character from Marvel Comics. Well, there's lots of Easter eggs in Lowtown, actually. We get a brief shot of the Princess Bar, which shows up in the comics, as does the gang's destination, the Brass Monkey Saloon. Wilfred Nagel, the serum scientist, is also from the comics, appearing in Truth, Red, White, and Black, the story introducing Isaiah Bradley as a Black Captain America during World War II. Lastly, Zemo makes a casual reference to Red Skull in this episode, despite the fact that Bucky was the only one of the 3 who had direct contact with Johann Schmidt in person. Now, this all begs the question, where is Red Skull now? A knee-jerk answer would be Vormir, where he watches over the Soul Stone. However, you'll recall that in Steve Rogers' final mission, he returned all of the Infinity Stones to their proper places and times, and that includes the Soul Stone. Did Steve Rogers have a final showdown on Vormir with Cosmic Red Skull? I wish Steve would come out of retirement to tell that story.
No, I don't think I will.
What did you think of episode 3? What will Ayo and the Dora Milaje do with Zemo? And who is the power broker? And is her name Sharon? Hit us with your theories in the comment section down below. Anyway, thanks for watching this episode of Canon Fodder, and for more MCU, check out the real reason why Falcon isn't wielding the shield. And remember to follow and subscribe to IGN wherever you like to watch.
Cheers, comrade.
Mmm.